In a vibrant village nestled in the heart of Benin, there lived a man named Alobi and his beloved wife. They were blessed with wealth beyond measure, acres of fertile land, herds of cattle that roamed freely, and servants bustling about to fulfill their every whim. Yet, despite their riches, their hearts ached for one thing, a child to call their own. They prayed fervently to the gods, and soon, their prayers were answered with the birth of a beautiful daughter. This girl, however, was no ordinary child. Spoiled by her parents, she grew up surrounded by luxury, never knowing the sting of discipline. "Why should I listen to anyone?" she would often say, her voice dripping with defiance. "I am the daughter of Alobi. I deserve the best." As she blossomed into a young woman, suitors from far and wide, rich and poor, princes and commoners, came to seek her hand in marriage. But she turned them all away, her heart set against the very idea of marriage. "How can I marry someone I haven't even seen?" she scoffed, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "No man is handsome or rich enough for me. They are not even fit to be my servants." Her parents, worried and weary, tried to guide her, but their words fell on deaf ears. The years slipped by, and the girl became known throughout the village as the maiden who refuses to marry. Her beauty was often compared to that of a guinea fowl, pretty, yes, but not worthy of sacrifice. "Sure, she's beautiful," the villagers would say, "but you don't sacrifice a guinea fowl to the gods, do you?" The girl's reputation for treating men disgracefully spread far and wide, even reaching the ears of creatures from the lands of ghosts, monsters, and wild animals. One day, a cunning python slithered through the underbrush, overhearing the villagers' gossip. "That is one damsel I must have for dinner," he declared to his friends, his eyes gleaming with mischief. "As ugly as you are," one of his friends chuckled. "She has rejected all the handsome humans. Do you think she'd want you?" They laughed, but the python was undeterred. "Just watch me," he replied, determination etched on his scaly face. The next day, the determined python set out to court the girl. On his way, he stopped by his shrine and, after several incantations, transformed into the most handsome young man anyone had ever seen. He donned the finest princely attire, his charm radiating like the morning sun. "Now, time to teach that girl a lesson or two about courtship," he thought, a sly grin spreading across his face. When he arrived at the girl's house, he found her father drinking with his friends, laughter echoing through the air. "I have come to ask your daughter's hand in marriage," he said, his voice smooth as honey. The girl caught sight of the stranger and rushed toward him, her heart racing. "This is the man I must marry," she declared, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "I'd like to marry you too," the stranger replied, "but I need to complete the customary business with your father. I shall send for my people, and after that, you and I will be married." But the girl was not patient enough for her people to investigate the stranger's background. "I will not wait," she insisted, her voice rising with determination. "I must go with him now." Her father, bewildered, tried to dissuade her. "The stranger is wise and understands our customs. Let his people come, and we will talk about the marriage." But her mother and the rest of the family joined in, pleading with her to reconsider. Yet, she would not listen. With a huff, she took the stranger by the hand, grabbed her little maid, and packed her belongings, leaving her father in a state of shock. The stranger led the girl and her maid away, taking with them some chickens and a goat. They walked for several market days, passing 7 farms and 7 rivers, yet still not reaching the stranger's home. "How much longer before we reach your home?" the girl asked, her excitement waning. "Not much longer," he replied, his tone enigmatic. "Your home is awfully far," she remarked, her brow furrowing. "You might say that," he replied, "but it is all relative, isn't it? As our elders say, a distant village to someone is near to someone else." Finally, they crossed into a dark, thick forest, where the air grew heavy with mystery. The girl's heart sank as fear crept in. "What have I done?" she thought, tears welling in her eyes. The stranger, sensing her distress, comforted her with chilling words. "I love you, and that's all that matters." But the girl continued to sob, for now she feared the worst. As they reached the heart of the forest, they stumbled upon a cave. The stranger beckoned them inside, and as they entered, he transformed back into the monstrous python. The girl and her maid screamed in terror as the python devoured the maid whole, her cries echoing in the cave. "I need some food," hissed the python, his eyes glinting with hunger. Then, he seized his bride, locked her in one of the rooms of the cave, and swallowed the key. For the next several days, the python fed on the chickens and goats the girl had brought with her, intending for her to become small enough for him to swallow her whole. Meanwhile, Alobi's heart raced with worry when days turned into silence. Desperate for answers, he sought the wisdom of a diviner. "Your daughter is in the middle of the river, and yet this crying that soap is burning her eyes," the diviner warned. "She's in great danger and has only a few more days to live." With urgency, Alobi summoned the village's finest craftsmen, the master seer, who could see through walls, the master rogue, who could steal food from the mouth of a feeding lion, the master shot, who could kill a parrot in flight without bullets, the master carpenter, who could craft a boat in the blink of an eye, and the master sailor, who could navigate without oars or rudders. "Your job," he addressed the men, "is to find my daughter and bring her back alive. If you do that, I will reward you beyond your wildest imaginations." The men set out on their adventure, guided by the master seer. When they reached the river, the master carpenter crafted a sturdy boat, and the master sailor navigated it with skill. Long before they even reached the thick forest, the master seer spotted the python sunning itself by the beach. On further search, he saw the girl locked away in the cave, the key hidden inside the python's belly. Now came the time to employ the services of the master rogue. When the python rolled over and saw the master rogue, it was frozen as if in a trance. The master rogue opened the python's mouth, reaching inside its stomach to retrieve the key. He quickly opened the gate, released the girl, and returned the key to the python, all before the python could even move. Then the men placed the girl in the boat, which the master sailor captained toward the land of the humans. When the python came to, he crawled into the cave to devour the girl. But when he could not find her, he destroyed much of the cave in anger, searching every nook and cranny. As he emerged from the cave, he saw footprints and evidence of human meddling by the river bank. He deduced that he had been robbed of his most cherished possession. In a fit of rage, he chased after them as if possessed. In no time, he caught sight of the escapees and lunged at them. But the master seer had already seen the python approach and alerted the master shot. As the master shot reacted and fired, the python lunged, and both were torn apart in a fatal clash. The men struggled to stay afloat until the master carpenter crafted another boat, which the master sailor navigated safely back to the land of the living. When they arrived, Alobi made good on his promise to reward the men handsomely. But soon, greed took hold. Each man argued over who deserved the most. "If it weren't for me," said the master seer, "we would never have found the girl in the first place." "But," said the master carpenter, "it was I who crafted the boat that got us there. And when we were almost drowned, I was the one who crafted another boat to save us." "What about me?" asked the master shot. "If I hadn't killed the python, we'd all be dead by now. I deserve more of the reward." "Do not forget that I had to risk my life to get the keys from the python's stomach," said the master rogue. "If I hadn't done that, we wouldn't be here fighting over the rewards." "Well," said the master sailor, "what can I say? I am just a common sailor. I do not deserve any of the rewards. So, I will yield my share to all of you. You deserve it more than I do." As he turned to leave, the rest of the men realized their selfishness and that each of them played a significant role in the success of their mission. "Come back, partner," said the master rogue. "We are each a piece of the puzzle that, when put together, solved the mystery of our missing daughter. No one is more important than the other. Let us share the rewards equally, for a gun never discharges without all of its parts working in unison." Although the girl who never wanted to marry learned her lesson and changed her ways, the men of the village never changed their minds about her. By now, she had grown old, her beauty withering like a flower in the frost. She lived up to her name and never got married, a reminder of the stubborn maiden who nearly lost everything for her obstinacy. Thank you for joining me on this enchanting journey. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to show some love, like, subscribe, and come back for more captivating stories from the heart of Africa.